Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I got me a $10 lawnmower, baby. Look at all these freaking carbs. I still can't get over the fact I got that many freaking carburetors. That's a lot of freaking motors. And the only reason I want it is to mulch up all these freaking leaves that come from this tree. This tree will probably be bare in the next 2 weeks. So I'm gonna do a little work on that, get her up and running. Anyway, what happened here was I'm doing another little adjustment and it seemed okay. Then I screwed around in the shed with the other motor, came back out, fired it up again, and it started bumping like puh, puh, puh. And it got worse and worse and worse, and the garbage can was just full of unburned oil and fuel. It sounded like it was, lean sneezing, just tuh, tuh. Pulled everything apart. First thing first, man, swapped that condenser, got the spark back up, and she was running pretty good. Then I also tested it again, one spark plug at a time, one cylinder at a time, and she was running great. If it's a coil, those coils will test good and run fine until they start to warm up. Then they'll start to break down. And you think, oh, I got a fuel issue because I already tested the coil and it tested fine. That's why I quit testing coils a long time ago. So I'm gonna fire it back up and see where it's at today. That's the other thing too, crank that thing up and I'm adjusting it and adjusting it. And it never really has a chance to warm up. So you can't really adjust a motor when it's cold. But I'm in such a hurry to get her done. I mean, mechanically, there's like pretty much nothing left I can do to it. I've done everything I can think of with the slop and all that crap. All right, so everything, the tank is over there and the garbage can is filled up with water and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to start it right now because she's got her back door open. Next store behind the fence. And I don't want to smoke her out just in case. So do a quick little thing here until she closes that door. And I notice the oil is real super clean, clear. It almost doesn't look like motor oil. It looks more like baby oil. So I'm going to change that too. But let's tear it apart and see what we got. Wow, look at that. That's a pretty big drain for this size of a carb, isn't it? Wow, you pull that big old plug out. Why isn't this bowl loosening up? If I can get something in here, kind of. There it goes. That was weird. Boy, it looks nice and clean in there. I wonder where it was leaking at. 'Cause it was just leaking all over the place. That float looks a little weird. Uh-oh. Guess what? Don't move. See how the float is laying downwards? There's no needle in there. Unless it just fell out and I didn't see it. That's why I said, oh, that float looks weird. So don't move. I didn't see anything fall, or this ain't gonna be good. It's got a little place to hang it. I didn't see a thing. Man, It's always something. Always freaking something. No wonder this thing doesn't run. Oh, come on. Don't tell me this, please. I've been a good boy. Man, where in the hell did it go? Or was there even one in here? I can't imagine that somebody worked on this thing. It could, you know, anything's possible. I'll have to ask her if anybody's ever worked on it. I might even have an old lawnmower needle in my old lawnmower box. All right, so I don't know if you can see the water down there. It's pretty clean. Like I said, I drained that thing out. There's so much crap in there. There's still, like this, a lot of crap on the motor. Anyway, this is disgusting. It's probably going to be it's going to get kicked around, floating around. All right, let's give it a shot here, see what we got. Man, not in the mood for this. Now see, but in the old days, whenever I had a motor that did that, I would open the carb right up, the butterfly. And she normally would start. Close it back up. Start position. See? One more try. But this thing won't run with the choke closed. Open her up. See, there's plenty of fuel in there. Come on, baby. It should have started. This is the friggin' problem with this thing. You know, 3-4 pulls to prime it up, choke it up. You hear it trying to pop. God bless America, man. I'm just about to put that the electric start I've got on this 74, about to move it over here. You know, the electric starter will spin it faster. Hold on, something going on out front.
I used to work in the yard. I loved working in the yard more than anything. I loved even pulling weeds. I can't even do that today.
Well, I'm going to get back to what I'm doing. We'll see you later. Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
That's my neighbor. Fixed her hose this morning. She brought me some Christmas cookies. All right, she's going to fire right now. Just let it warm up. See, I'm opening that idle stop, get it to the lowest idle before it starts to die, which is right at that first mark where the carb is just supposed to start to open for the timing. The water coming out is warming up pretty nice, but the top up here is ice cold. See how this thing will float a little bit. Speed up. That's the problem with this thing. I can usually fix that with that brass mount by tapping it down and making it solid more, you know. You've seen me do that or not. Let's see what happens. It's not warmed up, but let's try to put it in gear anyway. Oh, she didn't make it. So there's really nothing in the water other than, I think that's just leftover crap that was stuck to the motor, like where I wiped it out a minute ago. Let's see. Oh, she's fine. Oh, yeah, she's finally starting to warm up. Just a few minutes. There was a couple things I want to do. Let's start back up real quick. Just see if she's going to be all right. I'm going to turn the water on, put a little more water in it. So now that I leaned it back out just a little bit, let's try the gear shift again. Nope. Man, you'd think this thing would be fine. Still about the same amount of crap floating around down there. Let me see, I think I'm 2 out. 1, no, 1.5. Wait a minute, where was I? Yeah, 1.5. Now see, because that time I hit it hard and the centrifugal force brought this down right before it's going to close. If this carb would idle this thing by itself without having to be open, you wouldn't have any problems. All these carbs, what I had, 4 carbs on here, and they all do the same thing. RPMs pick up as I leaned it out. It took it a minute, didn't it? Now watch. See the difference? It's just idling too high. Get some more water in there. Nope, you can see there's a little bit more unburned crap in there. That's from leaning it out. It should have been a little bit more responsive than that. It took it a while before the RPM started to pick up. You know, I was like down here, and they should have been going up the whole time. And you're supposed to do it in little tiny increments, but after you've done it a billion frickin' times, you get used to where, you know, you gotta use your ear. You know, it might be fun. Just the thought. Pull this freaking carb off. See, too, I've mentioned it. This one's got the 3 or 4 holes up here, not just 3. So it might be pulling a little extra fuel through those holes, which you see how fast it's getting wet, priming up. You know, it's getting too wet, put it that way. And it don't take much to put that spark out. It needs to be gassy, not liquidy. What I was going to say is to put the carb on that I just cleaned up that goes to the 8120 horse, just to see what the hell it's going to do. I already know this thing has a 68 size high-speed jet. That thing has a 49D high-speed jet for a 20 horse. Come the 80s, the 25s used the 59D high-speed jet. And if you think about it, OMC was always like in its 10-year spans. You know, it would take them about 10 years to redevelop things, and another 10 years. You know, you got your 50s and your 60s and your 70s and your 80s and your 90s. It was always pretty much the same thing, just different ideas, you know, were coming up. You know, let's improve this, let's do that, ding, do. But to me, it's always been the Briggs and Stratton of the outboard world. And I don't get around too many, you know, what is it, 2025? You don't see too many old outboards like in the day, man. It was nothing to run out and pick up a 70s, you know, didn't run. You know, would never pay more than $100 for it. And that's where my saying came from. Well, if it's got good compression, the rest is just a pain in the ass. And this thing's got good compression, and it has been a pain in the ass. If I could just get this thing to idle where it needs to idle low. It's just too fast. When I was running it on that John boat, I don't remember what friggin' carburetor was on there. It was just pick out of the litter, if I remember correctly. It's the closest thing to the original one. You know, man, it's like right there, just so close. But went in and looked up the carb for the lawnmower, and you can get the whole kit and caboodle under $15 on eBay. The whole carb pre-assembled. You can buy the needle and seat separately. You can get it around here, but by the time you buy that and everything, you know, it's going to be twice as much. Tractor Supply has it. It's like, oh, you know, $10. So might as well buy the whole kit for $15. You just got to wait for the shipping. And the seat, you know, you could tell there wasn't anything in there because the seat would be smashed down in there. It's a little red rubber seat, and it's not made to shake around and fall out. So that would have been in that bowl. So somebody took it all out and cleaned it or something and never put it back in. Anyway, let me figure out what I'm doing here now. Just a little update on the old lawnmower. This is the carb that I had on there. It's almost identical, or it is pretty much identical to the original carb. The original carb is just it's all stained up, just a POS. This thing, the reason I know it's the one that was on there, because right here, you see that? It's like a weld. You know, somebody somewhere along the line, and that's how I remembered it. I'm like, oh, that's the one. Plus, it's got the newer grommet I put in there. And then the other thing too, this damn $10 lawnmower really pisses me off. I do have needles. Briggs & Stratton needles, baby. Opened up the old lawnmower box. Sure enough, the only problem is I don't have the seat for them. I've got a big Briggs & Stratton motor. I think it's a 10 horse on that generator. If you ever saw that video, you'd freak out. That generator was sitting on the curb one day. I would go driving by, and I said, "Are they throwing that away?" And I went up and knocked on the guy's door. "Are you throwing that away?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Cool, I'm going to take it." He goes, "Take it." Brought it home, tore it apart. Couldn't believe my eyes. And I see Big Mike walk by. I said, "Hey man," Big Mike the mechanic. I said, "Look at this thing." He walks over and looks at it. He's like, "Man, that thing's never been run." It's brand new. You could see it's never been run. So I'm like, well, what the hell? So I fiddled and fiddled with it. Turned out the valves were screwed up. So I adjusted the valves and got her to run. And I bet you that carb has the same size needle in it as that freaking Briggs over there. And I'm thinking just replace everything up top. That plate, the brass mount. This thing, when it came with the boat, they were in an accident. This side was damaged. That side of the boat was damaged. The motor must have been on the boat. It had a big hole in the intake. So all of this stuff up here could be a little bit warped, bent. You know, might have an issue. The reason why I can't get this thing, that little bit of slack out. Plus I tapped on that brass plate doing my little thing and it still kept coming back. So, and it's been in the back of my mind since day one, just replace everything. And I'm like, nope, I don't need to. I think I will get all that stuff done. So, that's what's going on, baby. Boy, it's a nice day. Nice breeze, sun's out. It's gonna be a great weekend.
Oh yeah, baby.